Great. Hey, お願いします。
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 Okay, great. Let's just loosen up a little bit. Start taking it from the back. Great, and side to side. Great into rotation. Perfect into a wave. Great, so a little bit moving freely, any direction. Great. We can just take it into the feet a little bit, the ankles. Changing the leg. Great, and take it into the knees. Great, now bend and straighten the legs. Okay, great, taking a little bit deeper. Just rocking side to side. Sitting the body down to a light squat. Just swaying the hips side to side a little bit. Pressing the hands onto the knees. Nice and long twist into the spine. Great, nice and so reaching down one leg, raising up the ceiling with the opposite hand. Okay, coming back up. Just rolling the hips a little bit. Just a bit of rotation to the back of the elbows. You're bringing the arms up, and then as you roll back, dropping them down. Like a kind of 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒼 movement. Great. Keep moving back, looking through to the shoulders. And go forwards. Cross a little bit at the front. Up and out to the diagonals. A little bit with the head, just rolling. Nice, big, slow circle. One way. Way. Just a couple on each side. Just coming back to neutral when you're ready, and then drop into the shoulder. To the side of the head. Lengthening through the long neck. Drop in the opposite shoulder. Just play here with the position of the head, and then tilting it up a little bit, tilting it down. Changing the area of the stretch a little bit. Pull the head back, kick it to the other side. Slowly adding the hand. Dropping the shoulder. Slightly adjusting the structure of the position of the head. Right. Taking the hands, pressing onto the forehead, lengthen the neck, supporting yourself with the spine at the back as well. It's taking the hands into the chin and just gently pushing up, stretching up. Release that, take the fingers to the back, hands to the back. First, pressing back, dropping the shoulders as much as you can, and then think about pulling the elbows back. At the same time, you're kind of pushing the head into the hands. Great, and then loosen it. Let the hands, the weight of the hands drop the head forward. Elbows heavy. Get to the chin to the chest. Let the upper body, upper spine curve. Walking back, pressing into the head, pressing the hands into the head. Pushing the elbows back. Keeping the lower back neutral, and then just think about raising up a little bit with the chest, looking up to the ceiling, keeping that pressure against the hands. Releasing again. Just let the spine fully curve as much as you can at the top. Keeping the shoulders down. And release that nice and slow. I just want to take the hands out, back to the sides. And you're pushing 2 walls. Spreading the arms as far as you can apart. Just play it just with the hands, just the position of them kind of rotating them. And just try and feel the kind of which parts of the back you're kind of accessing. The hands kind of change position. So play with them out a little bit as well. Gently waking up the back a little bit. And then coming back, fingers up, really pull out as far as you can. Think about splaying the fingers away from each other. Bending them back towards the head, towards the ears. Same time adding pressure down with the feet as well. So think about kind of all the 4 points of the body. Feet and the hands, kind of spreading out. And then release that, make 2 fists, and then press again out through the back of the hand. Curling the knuckles towards the armpits. Okay, release that. Just going to take the forearms at the back of the body. Try and get as kind of deep as you can into it. Okay, so let the spine become neutral. Just trying to avoid in this case kind of twisting out. And just play here just with loosening the shoulders out. So just kind of to the front, just softening the shoulders a little bit front to back. So let the chest kind of soften. So, great. And then taking the forearms nice and strong, think about pulling the arms away from the body. Again, letting the front of the body soften, especially the shoulders. Great. Okay, releasing that, coming up to the top, bringing the fingers together. It's nice, straight up to the top. First, just think about kind of stretching as high as you can, right to the top. Full, kind of stretched out. And then once you've got that, just think about dropping the shoulders down the back of the body, keeping the extension in the arms. And just feel that line through the whole spine from the tailbone, through the shoulders, into the back of the neck, right up the hands. Do a little bit of a twist each way, whilst keeping the shoulders as low as you can. Great. Okay, release that. I'm going to take it into a reverse prayer at the back. If you can't, just kind of place the hands on the back, but if you can, get the hands together. You can just sit into a little bit, pressing the hands together. Again, just softening the shoulders a little bit. Just feel kind of very open now. If you feel comfortable with it, just kind of work the hands up a little bit further up the back. Now think about pressing the palms together, and again, a little bit pulling the elbows back away from the body. Nice and gentle. Great. Okay, nice and slow. Releasing that. Circle the shoulders a little bit. There. And we'll come back into this position, coming up to the top. This time we're going to stretch right up. Get lower the shoulders, keep that stretch. Keeping the feet nice and firm in the ground, and then just think about leaning the body over to the side. Open the side of the body. Keep the pressure in the feet a little bit. Great. Coming back to the center, and take it to the opposite side. Stretching the hands away from the feet, but at the same time pressing the feet down. Great, coming back to the center. Great.
Okay, we'll go into this position. You cross the elbows, bring the hands together if you can at the palm. If not, just kind of take the back of the hand. Again, just think about dropping the shoulders a little bit, loosening them out, and then reach them up as high as you can, whilst keeping the shoulders dropped. Just hold it at the top a little bit. Great. Releasing it down, just letting the elbows drop to the chest, stretching it out to the front. And then untangling yourself, changing the arm, changing the side. Dropping the shoulders, keep the spine long. Plant the feet. Stretch the arms up as high as you can. Keep dropping them down to the chest. Send it out. Okay, licking the fingers at the back of the body. Dropping them nice and low. Chin them out. Again, just check the shoulders and kind of loosen them out a little bit. Draw the shoulder blades together. Great, nice and slowly, leaning the body forward. Just take the arms up over the back of the head. Keep the knees released. Again, just explore that position of the shoulders in this stretch. Hands are pushing away, the shoulders feel nice and soft in the front, hopefully. Great. Nice and slow, releasing it out. Just give a little bit of rotation. Right. Now just do a little bit with the hands, just stretching the fingers out. Nice and wide. Imagine the hands opening right from the center of the palm. Fingers kind of spreading away from each other. Okay. Nice. Making nice tight fists. Holding it a little bit. Open them out a little bit. Great. Now rolling them out, spreading out to the top. Working both directions. Great. A little bit of stretching here. Keep the shoulders soft, but kind of pressing up through the elbow, through that line. Just gently with the fingers, drawing the fingers back towards the shoulder. Hold it for about 5 seconds. Okay, release it, just slightly adjust it, going towards the outside of the body. Release it, taking it to the inside. Making a fist. Again, just the same, holding it for 5 seconds, drawing back, straight. Release it, take it a little bit to the outside. Right. A little bit to the inside. And last one, taking the fingers down, palm out. Just nice and neutral, straight back. Release it a little bit away from the body. A little bit towards the body. And just taking the palm just into the fingers, nice and gentle. Just taking them back a little bit. Working down each finger. Just also onto the thumb, just a little bit. Taking it towards the forearm. And just shake that hand out. Great, do the same on the other side, just stretching the arm out. Straight back towards the shoulder first. Just then slightly to the outside. To the inside a little bit. Curling into a fist, straight back. Back to the outside. Side. Great, palm out, fingers down. Over to the outside. Inside. Gently working the fingers. And down to the thumb. Shaking that one out. Great, and then stick into the whole body. Just loosen everything out. Try and have the sensation you're also spreading the knuckles as well. Let the whole arm loosen. So get the hips involved in it as well, so you're kind of sinking down into the legs. Flicking the hand out with the hip. Great. So. And just playing with the hand, just kind of take it any position. Again, keep that sensation of kind of working shoulder, elbow, fingers, shoulder, elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Any position. So. Perfect. Okay, good. Just shaking that a little bit at the top. Shaking a bit down, side to side. Just play with different angles with it. Great, holding the arms a little bit. Shaking the legs out. Great, planting the feet, shake, whole body. Okay, just slowing the movement down, making it a little bit smaller. Centering the body. Just until you get to kind of stop. Let's feel the weight of the body a little bit, feel the arms. Shoulders nice and relaxed, hopefully. Okay, Okay, great. We will do some joke today. Okay, perfect. Great. Just going a little bit of spirit work, just working with, starting with number 1. Just get the feet nice and long, nice and centered. And then slowly really focusing on kind of softening into the movement. Just finding a nice balance position at the end of the feet. Back. Just really take your time in both positions. In the kamae. Soften into the strike, nice and heavy. So there's this model of the 6 directions, which is very useful. And one way you can work it, so the 6 directions, up, down, left, right, front, back. So those are the kind of bases for it. And then there's these extra 2 of like inside, outside, but those 2 are kind of coming later in terms of the kind of hierarchy in terms of the working the structure. The way that's nice to work these, if you think about the up, down first, think about first the down direction. As if you've got some on the shoulders, gently pushing down on the structure. So you've got a sense that you want to kind of stack the body. Now, if the body's in these kind of hunch positions or any kind of position like this, if you imagine that force coming down, structure's going to kind of break out of it. So just imagine kind of either a gentle weight, like you've got a rucksack on the back or something heavy. Someone just gently pressure down and think of that pressure's kind of constant through the movement. And as you get to here, think of it the same in this kind of position as well. So any position again in that kind of way where I get that kind of structure is going to kind of either I meet it with tension or the structure is going to kind of collapse. But just imagine you've got a gentle pressure down through the structure so that you're meeting it up a little bit with the body. But just play with it in both positions, but also during that the movement itself. So that's And also just in terms of balance, also play with both sides. If you like play left side, right side as well. So we're not usually doing it on the right side, but it's so nice to try. It will also give you a better feeling for what's happening in the body as well. So it's a little bit of an unfamiliar movement. Super, great. Okay, the next direction is front and back. So the best place to play with this is just imagine as you get to the thrust, you've either got someone pulling the jaw away from you or pushing it back into the structure. So you can imagine someone, you can also do this with a wall as well. So walls are really useful in terms of the contact in. But again, it's just about meeting that kind of pressure with the structure. So you want to feel, if someone's pulling you forward, you want to feel where the weight of the body is kind of going to go. And again, any kind of, right, if I'm kind of leaning forward into it, it's going to kind of pull the body into it. So again, just imagine you want to find the center of the position. Keep the body kind of neutral into it, although you're active. And just imagine meeting that pressure with the structure, not with tension, just with the structure. And the same thing in the sense of someone pulling back or pushing it in, that you've got the whole structure, the back of the body's meeting it, meeting that force and neutralizing it, hopefully. That's tricky. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Where these directions get kind of annoying, or this kind of work gets a bit annoying, is you think about putting them together. So think as well as you've got this kind of force, you've got this kind of force down. So imagine someone's on the shoulders and they're also pulling the jaw as well, or pushing the jaw. So just imagine them kind of combining together. We're not very good at doing two things at the same time. Just to try and challenge the body a little bit, get the sense of pressure down a little bit, pressure in, meeting the downwards force, and meeting that force to the front or the back. On both sides.
Thank you, Michael. Have a nice day. See you soon.
Great. Last direction is this is technically in the position of the Joe is front and back, but we're going to think of it as side to side in terms of the posture. So the best place to think of it is again in the ski position. Think about someone either pushing against the chest, or they can also, you can do this a lot of ways. Think about pulling the jaw away from the body, or think about pushing the back of the body this way. So just imagine a force which is going this way against the body, kind of tugging the body this way very gently. And again, just think about meeting it. So you've got either a force kind of coming this way, just trying to balance it to the ground, or coming back into the body, balance it through the ground. So the kind of response is always the same. It's like find the ground, find the structure, or let the structure kind of stack on top of each other. That's nice. Great. Great. And then again, just try and bring your awareness. You can bring it to either one of them, like up, down, front, back, left, right, or start to bring it into kind of bringing them together. So the key thing I think about in this, especially in this kind of basic training, is think about like entry into the movement. Really like you're entering like a really solid structure. I think like about a pyramid or something like this. So when you've got the force coming from the top, it's just going to spread out to the base. Force is coming either way, it's going to spread out. It's going to spread out right to the base. So imagine you're kind of, and the hammy is really like a triangular position, but that sense of like a nice structure underneath everything. So we've got yeah. That's it. Great, we'll take this into number 3, so a little bit challenging in terms of the structure. Look at in this case, you've got these 2 positions. So obviously you've got this first position. The key of this one here, again, just think about the first, that primary direction is kind of down, or the kind of someone a little bit on the shoulders. And you've got this position here. But just think in terms as you do it, think in terms of those directions in the same way we've just done. So you've got up, down, front, back. Imagine someone kind of pulling the jaw out, pushing it into the body, and front, back. Just imagine those directions. And just try and meet up with the position. And although it's a kind of artificial pause in the movement, play with also those 6 directions in this position. So you've really got to send, especially the up-down one, and especially for this one, the one that's really important for this one is this front back. So imagine someone at the end of the job pulling it. Usually I get kind of loaded to the front this way, so if someone's to pull the job forward or push the body gently, really out of balance. So just get that, again, that sense that you're meeting it. The down's the primary one. Once that's in, that the rest should start to fall into place, but I can still have the down, but we kind of load it to the front. So just play with that position there, sit into it a little bit, feel kind of comfortable with it, and then take it to the next move. So. Nice. Great. And this one probably feels really odd if you change the side of the body. So if you go to the right side to start, this one feels pretty odd if you're not used to doing it on both sides. Okay, we're going to take this into a little bit. It's not really a kata, it's just a series. Well, it's kind of a kata. It's a series of movements together. So we did this on Wednesday. Those that were there, we're just going to build it up. We'll do the first 3 moves also. So you've got starting from here, coming into the ski, and then you're going to rotate just like in a zengo, come to the back, into the zengo. So that's nice and easy. Go to here. Now the key with this move now, you're going to step out with the back leg, and you're going to come into this position with a thrust. Here. So you kind of work in these 3 directions. You've got 1 to the back and then to the side this way. So you start down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Up to the side. To the back. You can do this on both sides. So you can just stick to 1. 1, 2, 3 strikes. That's good. So. Yeah, so in this one, if you, I'll show you again, you go from here, so you're in the left side, ski, change to the back, you go right side. Now, if the right foot forward, you're going to take the left foot out to a 90-degree angle. So in this case, I'm going to go to the camera, go still, and then I'm going to strike with the back end. So you've got that position, feed it through the hands, thrust with the back end. Right side, stepping out with the left, thrust with the back end. Yeah. So, yes, good.
See you later, Mike. Thank you.
Very good. Great. That's great. Great. Yeah, and kata are great. Kata are really fantastic, especially longer movements. They're great if, unless I get into this kind of repetition where it just starts to boom, 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 boom through, and then I'm actually practicing. Oh, I'm practicing the form I have, and I'm also usually practicing bad form. I've got bad form, which actually you want to be practicing. In this case, keep those directions in mind. So as you go through it, especially in this case, these kind of rotation movements. So this kind of rotation. Imagine you've also got those directions really working in the body, especially the down one. I just want to kind of pushing into the shoulders, drawing into it through the transition. Imagine you've got a kind of gentle pressure that you're meeting up with the spine. So just keep bringing yourself back to those directions. It's kind of really tricky thing to do. Do two things at once. You're doing the movements, also really thinking about the structure of the body. Best way is nice and slow. Think one movement at a time. Good. No, it's nice. Right. Okay, we're just gonna have one more move. So you've got 1, 2, 3. You take this thrust in here, and now you're gonna keep the jaw on the same side. You're gonna roll it back this way. You got this, release it, roll it back, change it to this kind of Ushira position. Line up with the forearm, and then come into an Ushira here. So you've got now this way. 1, change. 2, 3, change the grip, draw it to the forearm, and then into the Ushira. So you're working the 4 directions. 1, 2, 3, change it, drop it back this way. So. Okay. Yeah, nice. Great, and then just the last few, take them nice and slow. Especially comes up with the like something like the 31 kata. We're in a kind of race to get to the end. Like probably subconsciously, we're trying to just get to the end, reach the end, and then it's over, and then it's finished. And I don't have to do anything else. So just really think about this one as you do it. You do just one set of it, but really get to the position until you feel really comfortable with it. So you feel really comfortable. You're meeting all those kind of 6 directions, and then transition. Take it over to the next one. Again, feel nice and comfortable. It's kind of grounded, it's extended, coordinated as you feel. And then when you get to the position there, move to the next one. Get to the position nice and controlled. Change it. Change it. Really take your time finding that position. You're looking for like a neutral but expanded position. With a feeling out in all directions, full 360. Yeah, there we go. Right. All right, perfect. Great. We'll start there. Yeah, the main thing with this also, the other point is we're very good at kind of holding the body in positions, especially when we do like lots of kata training. The main question is like whether you're stacking the body or holding it with tension. That's the kind of key point to think about as you do it. And this kind of gentle pressure kind of helps you kind of think about this. If you think about meeting any kind of pressure with rigidity, it's either going to hold or eventually it's going to collapse. And one of the best things you can do is just think about holding those positions for a long time. So lots of arts have these like standing practices, which they stand for like 30, 40 minutes, which are boring as hell, but really useful tools to kind of check the structure. But anyway, they can be fun, but not usually. Anyway, great. Domo, arigato. Great. Good. Here we go.